Let's hop across the pond. I cover British politics, of course, and I've been taking a particular interest in Brexit. These are supposed to be complex negotiations that's been taking place over the last 2 years that's going to settle the divorce agreement between Britain and the UK as Britain pulls out. Problem. The deal that Theresa May is backing is not necessarily Brexit and will put Britain into a position of servitude, or at the very least not having a determining factor on its own country's affairs in some cases, and this is going to go on for potential several years. She doesn't have support among people who are hardcore Brexiteers. She doesn't have support among people who wanted to remain. This is the worst of both worlds. It's a worst case scenario than just remaining in the EU at this point. And yet, this is the deal that she is backing. Labour would not back her on this. Brexiteers would not back her on this. There is bad news coming out of the papers that I want to go through. So let's go to this one first. Right here. The Sun says, storm clouds are gathering for the Prime Minister. It reports that cabinet ministers are weighing up whether to urge May to abandon the Commons vote altogether. That's how bad it is. They're assuming she's going to lose. The paper says it's been told that almost all of her cabinet have concluded that the defeat is certain by 200 votes, which would make it all but impossible for her to remain in office. That sounds horrendous if your name is Theresa May. The Financial Times says the Prime Minister may have found some support at the Royal Welsh Winter Show, but many of her own ministers and MPs believe she can't win the vote on December 11th. It says numerous alternative scenarios to the deal are being played out at Westminster, but the question is less whether Mrs. May can win, but what is plan B? They're assuming she's going to lose this vote. This will be a historic and embarrassing defeat. This gets worse. So this is the Express. This was, I think, came out yesterday. Theresa May is currently being pressured by the Tories to resign if she wants her cabinet to vote for her Brexit deal in the Parliament on December 11th. This comes as Tories lawmakers Andrew Lear put in a letter of no confidence to Graham Brady, chairman of the 1922 committee, or backbenchers, on Tuesday. Mrs. May is now fighting to keep her party together after she faced massive backlash for the Brexit deal earlier this month. If Mr. Graham receives 48 more letters of no confidence, a vote to replace Mrs. May will be triggered. A source from the cabinet told the Times a promise from Theresa May to quit after the UK leaves the EU on March 29, 2019 will help get her deal through the House of Commons. They are asking her to step down. The source said, we know that the future relationship is not binding. This means she is the problem, not the deal per se, since it leaves plenty of flexibility for a successor to organize technical solutions for the Irish border and move towards Canada. Tories reportedly think a replacement would ensure a better trade deal for Britain in the future. Former Defense Secretary Sir Michael Fallon told Radio 4 Wednesday it will be up to Conservative MPs to decide May's future. Sir Michael said, this is not a good deal. We need a better deal. We have to get this right. Let's see. This comes as Downing Street held briefings for Labour MPs Tuesday night, urging them to vote for the deal as the best available sources. Now, the thing is, there are some turncoats in Labour that don't want to see Jeremy Corbyn take office and would prop up this government if that means keeping him out of office, or at the very least prop up this government because they may even be heavy in the Remain camp and just want any deal, whatever the deal is. It has been told, or it has been said, that those MPs will be deselected, that they will be hounded and they will be kicked out of the party if they prop up the Conservative government when there's a chance for a Labour government to eventually take hold out of the calamity that's taking place with the government itself. This is what's taking place from the standpoint of Brexit within regards to Prime Minister Theresa May, zombie Prime Minister, if I've called her, the walking political dead, holding on, or whether or not she's going to be able to hold on to her seat, and whether or not this deal goes through Parliament. She's going to be putting on a charm offensive to try to get the deal through. Her cabinet apparently doesn't believe it's going to take place. There's another part to this, getting in her head about what she's thinking. Let's see. The Spectre website says the Prime Minister continues to hope that speaking to the country will cause a domino effect whereby constituents demanding that their MPs change tact and support the deal. She's going into an election type thing where she's trying to sell this deal, but it's magnificently unpopular, especially by the MPs that she needs to sell it to. It is possible that talking about it may actually make things worse, but you have no other solution than to talk about it. So she's going to sell it. So we'll get to see Theresa May in election campaign mode trying to sell this deal. Yeah, I think that's it. Just a bad day for Theresa May. The House of Commons will vote on a make or break deal on December 11th after a 5-day debate. She would need to convince 89 hostile Tory backbenchers to support her final deal. Not just support her final deal, to even keep her in office at this point. So, Theresa May not having a good day. Thatcher in the Rye. Thatcher in the Rye is right. She's toast, mate. Deep thought. Yes, I think she is also toast. One of the shows that I was watching was talking about Theresa May. It was going into this thing of, if she loses this vote, and even if she doesn't lose this vote, she is toast. She is utterly toast. I was looking for pictures of a fork, because I was going to go with the idea of stick a fork in her, she's done. But zombie prime minister walking. So I'll leave it here. All right, guys, if you enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. And you can always support through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks, everyone.